Welcome to another episode of Acroyoga with Super Dave. Today our pose is straddle throne. I'll give you several ways to get into straddle throne as well as some intermediate and advanced variations. Okay, for my helper today, I have Amanda in the background. Okay, first off, you are going to start off with a single leg mount. And that way, I start off with this one because the single leg mount at least gets half of the equation settled where you know where that leg goes, and then just about jumping the other leg up. So Amanda's going to lift her knee up. I place my foot under, she's going to wrap her leg to the inside of my leg. Okay, my foot is positioned close to the knee. We come into reverse hand and hand grip, and then from here I keep my knee back. On the count of three, we're going to jump up. 1, 2, and 3. And I place my other foot mirroring my left foot. She hooks the legs. I bend my knees a little bit. That way she can come into a seated position. And then I'll straighten out my legs, finding my bone stacking. Okay, to come down, we grab hands again. She's going to release one leg. I'll lower that foot onto the ground, and then she'll unhook the other leg. We'll do the jumping mount. Foot placement, so one of the tips I like to use is that the toes go on the inseam of the clothing. I'll place my toes there just above the knee. Place my hands, and then on the count of 3, Amanda's going to hop up. 1, 2, 3, she hops up. I scoop my heels under as she sits back, she hooks her leg. And once again, keep my knees bent until she feels balance, and then I'll straighten out my legs. Okay, so coming onto this mount, we grab hands. It's important that the flyers unhook their legs first. So she'll unhook her legs, I keep my arms straight, and I lower her feet all the way to the ground. Okay, finally, we have an advanced variation where you jump in without hands. This is probably Amanda's second try of doing it, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, no hands. 1, 2, and 3. Up. And she'll grab. Yeah, just give it a couple of tries and it'll get more comfortable with each successive try. Okay, coming down, hands, and then lower down. Okay, now we'll give some variation for straddle thrones. Place camera here. So mounting the straddle throne, we're going to hop into it. She'll hook her legs and come up. First variation is the ninja variation. She's going to unhook one leg and straightening up. She can take whatever hand variation she wants right here. A little bit more advanced in the ninja variations, I walk my foot down to her ankle. She has very long legs, so that's the limit to my stretch here. And then she can come into a side bend instead. Good, coming all the way up. Here you can transition into a back bend, so she'll turn her shins down to face the ground. I place my foot onto her ankle. She flexes her foot, starts to bend the knee, and reach back with one hand, and then takes her back bend. Good, coming all the way back up. We'll take the hands and lower back down. Okay, a couple more variations. We're going into mermaid and king pigeon. So she lifts up. She straightens out this leg. So in order to facilitate the rolling of the leg, she's going to look in the direction of her right knee. And then she begins to rotate her thighs so that her thighs are facing the ground. My foot is slightly above the knee, which is a really important position here. She begins to bend her leg, reach back to grab her foot. And then she'll slide her foot into her elbow crease and reach the other arm up. You may or may not be able to bind here over top. A variation for the bind is to take the right arm and go across the chest and then interlace your hands from here. Good. For those who can do king pigeon, then feel free to take king pigeon. And then she'll release. She hooks her leg again. We offer hands. She'll unhook her legs, and and then I'll lower our feet down to the ground. Okay, so since we're doing a little bit more advanced variation, we're going to show some spotting for the free jump into straddle throne. And for spotting, we're going to get some help from Emily over here. Say hi, Emily. Okay, come on over. So once again, my toes start off with the inseam of her pants. And I'm thinking about lifting my feet so that my feet come into a flat position. Emily's going to do bicep spotting to begin with. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Good. And then from here, Emily comes into a goddess position. Her hands are around Amanda, doing some cage spotting. And this is good for mermaid pose as well. So when Amanda begins to straighten out her leg, yeah, let's do this leg. She rolls over her thigh. She grabs onto her ankle, and then come into mermaid. And Emily's just being attentive, making sure that my legs aren't swaying from side to side. Her number one priority is just safety for both flyers and base. Good, and then she release. Coming back to straddle throne, and then we'll go down. All the way to the ground. Good. Thanks, Emily.
No problem. All right.
And there you have some spotting. It's always important to work with additional help to get you into the poses. That way, there's no incidences and you can have a safe practice. That concludes our episode of Straddle Throne. Stay tuned tomorrow for our next episode.